Okay, talk about asset forfeiture or asset seizure. There's a lot of stuff going on about that. I got a few questions about it. So when can cops take money, or when do they take money? Now the laws have changed, because back when I did it, in order for us to seize it, there was a form we had to do. We had to connect it. We had to go in front of a judge and show that, hey, we think this money is connected to criminal activity because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. Now, they can pretty much seize it for no reason at all by just saying, hey, he's got a lot of money that he can't explain. That's a huge abuse of government power. I just watched a video on this seizure, and there's like $5.4 billion seized by cops. And I mean, they're taking money. They took it from this one black dude who was going to a ball game. Him and his son were going to Reno or something, and they had like 14 grand in the car. Now that's a lot of money, and most people don't carry around 14 grand. But if you're going to Vegas to gamble and you don't want to pay the fees to pull your money out, maybe they pull the money out, they're going to have a weekend. Look, citizens shouldn't have to explain to the government why I have cash. And the government is anti-cash. They don't want people using cash. If it was up to them, they want to do away with cash so they have complete control of the monetary value of things, and you can't have no control. Because what happens is, it started out to where, shit, back in the 40s, 50s, people were making money illegally. They had all this cash and they were getting rich, and the government couldn't get their cut. And the government hates competition. They hate people not paying their damn taxes. So if they can get your money, they're going to make a rule to stop you from hiding your money, unless you're illegal. Because now we got a stupid ass country that thinks illegal can come in here and work for free. We give them aid, we give them all this other BS, and they can ruin the country and commit crimes. Yeah, I know. Donald Trump is a bad guy because he says illegal aliens commit crimes. You can't. I mean, in Texas they were like 200,000 crimes or something committed by illegals, and murders and all kind of shit. But whatever. I digress. Government doesn't want you to have cash. They don't like cash. So they are into digital time frames. They want everything digital. They want your checks going straight to a bank. They want to know how much you're getting deposited, where it's coming from. Are those people paying taxes for it? How much cash do you have? What are you taking it out for? Because every time you take it out of the bank, it shows where you're taking it out, what ATM you're taking it out, what increments, who are you transferring money to, who are you paying your bills to? Because if I get your bank account and I'm doing a warrant or I'm trying to find out information on you, I can get your last statement for the last 90 days and I can see everybody you paid. You got cable company, you got electric company, you got a phone service with AT&T, I can go to all these people and get all the information you gave them to get those services. So it gives me a huge database of information when I can control your money and make you do it through a digital process that I have access to. And the banks are in bed with government. Anybody that doesn't believe that's crazy. I mean, I took all my money out of savings a long time ago. You know what? I'm not keeping my money in a bank anymore. In the 20s, people used to keep it underneath their seat during the crash. People were like, they lost all their money. If you look over at these Greek countries, these liberal-ass countries who are doing their liberal policies, wanting to give everybody everything free and shit, now they're going broke and they can't figure it out. So, I mean, they're losing money, and all these people are going to the bank and they're like, hey, you can only take out this much. I mean, just taking my own money out, the bank was like, why are you taking this money out? You know, we got a report. If you deposit more than 10 grand or take out more than 10 grand, the bank does a report to the FBI called structuring, or you know, any withdrawal over 10 grand. If you take out increments of 10 grand in a short period, the bank, for no reason, without telling you, can do a report and report to the government. I remember when I was working welfare fraud, you know, 20 years ago, I'd go to the bank and try to find out something about somebody's accountant. Oh, can't help you. Sorry. We have customer rights. Customers have privacy rights. It pissed me off. If I wanted it, I had to go get either a subpoena or a search warrant. And it made me do more work. I didn't like it because it made me do more work. But hey, those are the rules, and it was good rules because it protects privacy of good people. Now, shit, you can get anything from anybody without even doing anything. They got secret warrants and secret judges and secret courts and secret this. You don't have any control. So, why? I even forgot what the hell I was talking. Oh, seizing money. The government is seizing cash because they want to know where it came from. So, you can't even pay cash. When I was buying this house, I was selling another house, so I was going to pay cash for the down payment on this from the sell of the other house. Well, they wouldn't take it because it was cash. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Nope. It's got to go through a bank. We got to prove where it came from. You got to do this, you got to do that. I mean, I gave my sister $5,000 for a down payment when she was buying her house, and I had to do some big ass letter so she could prove where that money showed up in her account. So she couldn't even have money in her account given to her without explaining to the government where it came from. And I say the government, even though it's a mortgage company, the mortgage company's owned by the damn government. GM's owned by the guy. Ain't nothing private anymore. The government wants control of all the businesses so they can have control of all the people. So, I mean, now they're seizing money for anything. Now, I'm not sure on how asset seizure works now, but I mean, on this video I watched about this guy, they just took his 17 grand. It took him 6 months to get back. I read another article where they went in this guy's account and seized like 46 grand out of his account, and it took him a year to get it back, and he had to sue and go through all kind of crap. So when you put money in a bank, you trigger flags unless you put it in 1,000 at a time. And even if you put in 1,000 a month that you're making on the side, a bank teller or a bank manager or somebody that doesn't like you because of your color, whether it's a black person that doesn't like you because you're white, or it's a white person that doesn't like you because you're black, whatever the reason, they can file a complaint with the government saying, hey, this guy's putting money that's not accounted for. He's bringing in cash and depositing it. Now, I mean, to me, that's totally bogus and bullshit and overreach of government and abuse, but, you know, who am I? I'm just some anti-government guy that nobody really gives a shit about, but, hey, government, it works when it's controlled. Government works when it's small and when the people have power. Over the last 10, 15, 20 years, man, the power from the people to the out-of-control government has grown 100-fold, and it's just crazy. And nobody's really upset about it because they're being programmed by the liberal schools and the liberal colleges and the brain-dead, you know, left that just wants you to think, oh, government's your friend and they're here to help and they'll make it better. And if you give them money, they'll spend it better than you, and they'll give you things that you should have because you're too stupid to work and earn it and buy it yourself if you want it. So this asset seizure and forfeiture is just out of control. So how can they take your money? I don't know. I do know that we used to take money illegally when I was a cop. I knew it! Oh, you cops are dirty! Hear me out, people. Good grief. When you get arrested for crimes and you do shit, a lot of times the court will, when you get criminally convicted, they will order you to pay restitution. And you know, you robbed the store of an item that costs $400. We're going to give you this much jail, this much probation, whatever, but you got to pay restitution this place, the $400. Well, let me ask you, let's see how many stupid people raise their hand. How many people think criminals pay back restitution that they owe people? If you raise your hand, you're a dummy. Because they don't pay it back. They don't care. They don't want to keep cash. They don't want the government knowing how much they have. They work on the side. They get welfare. They say they can't afford it. That way they're eligible for a public defender for their next arrest. And they get free services. And they can go apply for more aid because they're broke. So they are not going to pay back restitution. Well, in Sacramento, and I don't know if they still do it, when we arrested these pieces of shit over and over again, and every once in a while we'd catch them either after they just sold some stolen property or drugs or whatever, and they'd have $300, $400, $500, sometimes $1,000 in their pocket. And it'd be like, where'd you get this money? Work? Where'd you work at? Business? What business? I don't remember. So they had this money, they couldn't explain it. We couldn't seize it under asset forfeiture because we couldn't connect it to a crime. But what we did do, and again, I think this was illegal. None of us got charged. Nobody really cared. It was kind of accepted. Maybe it was a violation. I don't know. There was no legal precedent that I was doing in it other than standard operating procedure, and I thought it was the right thing to do. So when you book somebody in jail, they run them. And they run them for criminal history and probation status and all this other crap, and it comes up if they owe restitution. So I'd book this guy and it'd say, hey, he owes $1,200 restitution. He's got $1,000 in his pocket. Normally that $1,000 would be booked in with his property. It would go on his books so he could buy cigarettes, bribe other people, hire a killer, whatever he wants to do with his money. Well, I would take that $1,000, jot out a receipt, bring it over to the counter of the county and go, hey, I want to pay on this guy's restitution. He was just arrested, he had this money. So I'm applying it to his restitution. So I would give it to the county, and the county would apply it to his restitution to the business so they'd get their money back. Now, I'm sure there's people out there that are going to be like, that's just crooked, that's wrong, you're a thief, you're unconstitutional, you don't... Hey, this guy's a piece of shit and he's out there making victims, breaking into people's houses, and when he gets ordered restitution, these victims never get any money. So if he's running around with he's got more money than I got in my bank in his pocket, and he's running around committing crimes, getting arrested again, I'm applying his cash to his restitution. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. I don't care. I thought it was the right thing to do. I did it. Other cops did it. And whether it was illegal or not, tough shit. Statute of limitations are probably up. If it ain't, come and take it. All right. That's my spill on restitution. Or asset seizure. Government stealing your money. I don't even know if I answered it.